What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp. Welcome to Fightful. It's November 24th, 2025. Fall is in full effect, especially if you are Brock Lesnar. We are here to talk WWE Monday Night Raw. The show ended with Brock Lesnar falling flat on his ass. I'm just gonna give you guys a little visual collage as I can't post a video or anything. But listen, if you don't want to fall flat on your ass, do the right thing. Subscribe to FightfulSelect.com. I've got a special Thanksgiving Q&A going up on Thursday, but I had another one drop today. Wrestle Votes joins us starting next week with their live Q&A every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern. The only live Q&A, you'll get that early in the week. You got to wait till Thursday for Ask Grapsody otherwise. But you're going to end up getting like 3 Q&As a week, plus Wrestle Votes Radio, plus so much more. Subscribe to FightfulSelect.com. And off the top, I want to announce, starting this Sunday and going through December, the Fightful Awards, the official voting, is in effect this weekend going through the month, and it is going to be completely open-ended. We are going to just leave it wide open, and you all can write in who and whatever you want. I am, quite frankly, I'm very excited for these Fightful Awards. Listen, it's always a highlight for us. It's always something very important to me. If you would like to sponsor the Fightful Awards, please contact myself, contact Kate, or contact one of the Fightful accounts, and we will get you set up. $100 gets you an ad read on the show that you can clip and use elsewhere if you so choose. You also get a link in the description and in the replies, and then I'll retweet that to like 300,000 some people. But this is what you'll look like if you don't do that. Brock Lesnar. Oh, man. Now, he did the big kick up stomp and then slipped and did a back roll, and he giggled about it. You don't see a lot of that out of Brock Lesnar, but he did bust his ass right there. This was an episode of Raw, and I didn't think it was a very good one. I just didn't think it was a very good one. Some of that isn't their fault. Some of it is their fault, but let's go ahead and get into it. If you want your super chat or humper chat read on the air, or your comment or statement read on the air, send a super chat or humper chat. We can't tell you how important that is to us. On Fightful Select today, we have AEW Full Gear news, Naito and Bushi news. We're going to have a bunch more contract news this week. But let's go ahead and talk WWE Raw, man. This is not usually a problem for Raw at all. But there was like no women's match tonight at all. And I don't think on SmackDown either. And I'm like, what's going on here? What's going on? And I had the Bella Stan army that came after me a couple weeks ago because I'm like, man, I wish she would win some matches ahead of this. And somehow they made this even lazier. They had Stephanie Vacker cut a promo, a pre-tape promo where she's like, oh my gosh, she turned on me. I thought we were friends. You want to talk about a terrible build? That is that Stephanie Nikki Bella match. Oh my gosh, she attacked her. All right. Okay, so my question is, Roxanne, Raquel, Ivy Nile going after Maxine backstage, which, by the way, got a backstage segment of which she got confronted by Ivy, Raquel, and Roxanne, and she goes, I'm going to call Natalya. If you're Natalya, why don't you say, why the hell didn't you call me before that? Why wasn't I ringside with you? Why wasn't I there for you? I'm the one that helped you. And if those three women want a title shot against the Intercontinental Champion, why don't they just attack her? Because that seemingly is what gets you a title shot. That's what the Nikki Bella thing shows. Otherwise, what did you need? Why do you need to earn it? Why do you even need to declare? Just beat somebody's ass, and apparently they'll schedule it. from a kayfabe point of view, it made no sense whatsoever. None at all. I just think that Stephanie Nikki build is incredibly lazy. You got Nikki coming back from always a scary neck injury, man. Like the stuff that she dealt with, like at one point you thought it was going to end her career. And she worked really hard to get better throughout all that. She came back, did a few matches here and there, but this is like her most extended run in 7 years. And even the one in 2018 was kind of like a borrowed time thing. And you get her on your show and you're like, all right, so here's what we're going to do. She's going to lose to Becky. She's going to lose to Asuka. She's going to lose to Roxanne, going to lose to Judgment Day. Then she'll turn on Stephanie and get a title shot for no reason. To me, I think it's kind of disrespectful towards the creative element of even bringing her back. Like, do something creatively satisfying that makes sense. And Stephanie is your newish champion that you're trying to establish, and just not it. Maxine, your new champion. And fortunately, Becky has been doing a lot of building for that as well. Like she's continued to keep this in people's minds with the great stuff she has done on social media. Like she's just done an excellent job with that, with like the Trump angle that she's doing. And like that's going to keep it in people's minds anyway. And Becky can't just forget about that. She's got to continue with that. But that leads to the only other women's segment that we saw, which, by the way, I was very, very glad to see Ivy Nile. Glad to see that she got to show up. But you had the heels come out, and Becky Lynch did say she was going to continue to pursue the travesty of which she experienced as a result of the Intercontinental Championship, right? Then she tells Asuka, I beat you 9 times out of 10, but you always fought me well. She had Asuka yell at Kyrie. She told Lash Legend if she sticks with her, she'll make a star out of her, just like the other 3, which Nia kind of shot her that look, because obviously Nia breaking Becky's nose was a huge point of popularity for Becky Lynch and a great image. But I would say out of everything here, like I didn't particularly like the AJ Lee promo that followed. Like sometimes her delivery is hit or miss for me. As a performer, I really enjoy her, but again, the promo is hit or miss. I do think they'll use the bite line. She said, "I don't bark, I bite." I guarantee you they've got like the corniest "I bite" shirt coming out very soon. But Ryan says he wants Lash as a Becky heavy bad. That would be a nice one, because Lash is very convincing with her offense, which we'll talk about momentarily. One of the lines that really popped me as Becky's going through again her Trump-inspired nicknames, she calls Charlotte Flair Charlatan Flair. Oh God, that one got a pop out of me. I really liked Charlatan Flair, but AJ hands the mic over to Rhea, and then just a fight breaks out. And guess what happened at the end of the show? The same thing. I am just begging for any wrestling company that does this thing, whether it be MLW back in the day with the War Chamber, or WWE with WarGames, or AEW with Blood and Guts or Anarchy in the Arena. I know that you kind of got to do it a little bit, right? You got to do the big brawl to kind of hype it up, but can we think of a different way? It's very, very, very played out. It's the same thing. And I found this to be just a completely uninspired paint by numbers Raw, which is very unfortunate after the last 2 Raws that I watched that were really good, including, one of which I thought could have been the best Raw of the year. And the women's booking of late has reflected the lack of story that they had for this WarGames. And this, quite frankly, is a product of when you just do a match because it's that time of year, as opposed to let's heat up a really good feud and then we'll do the match as a result. We've got Andrew Brown says the C2 looks fantastic. Let me go ahead and let you all know who is in the Continental Classic. The Gold League has Okada, Kyle Fletcher, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, Darby Allin, and Pac. The Blue League has Mascara Dorada, Takeshita, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Claudio Castagnoli, and Jon Moxley. Wow. That is one of the best in-ring slates I have ever seen in my entire life for a tournament. That is insanity. Whew, boy. Jesus Christ. C. Delgado says, C2 has so many great story possibilities. And Luis, I could see Jon Moxley getting swept. Absolutely. I think he's in putting people over mode. I certainly do. Especially Claudio beating him would be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, that gets started this week. Very excited for that. We had the Last Time Is Now tournament, and the highlight of this entire show, Gunther defeating Carmelo Hayes. And I put on Twitter, oh man, I want to see Carmelo Hayes on TV more. And people go, or one guy goes, well, he kind of is. Not with The Miz. Not with him. Let's have him doing something substantial. This match was a fantastic indicator that your audience likes this guy, that he can connect on an upper card level with a guy that has performed at the top levels in WWE. And don't worry, he's over 30, so you can go ahead. He's ready for it, buddy. He's not too young. He is him. That's who he is. And I like this match more than the Javon Evans match last week, and I think Javon Evans should be up as well. I think Obafemi should be up as well. Already, get these three up. Now, granted, that leaves the NXT men's division in a very dire situation from an in-ring perspective if you don't have Javon Evans down there. But Carmelo Hayes is just so clearly a guy who is ready for something big and something substantial on Raw or SmackDown. And I'll see people like with Javon Evans or Carmelo Hayes that go, no, they should be on SmackDown because they fit in better. I saw that with Javon, and I'm like, I want him where he doesn't fit in better. I want him taking people out of their comfort zones. I want him shaking things up. You want a guy like that. I remember when I was younger, I think it was Big Boss Man and Coco Beware. They had a fantastic match because they didn't wrestle anything like one another. That's what you want. You want that. You want him working with a lot of great bases and stuff like that. You don't want him working with The Miz. All due respect to The Miz too. But like creatively, let's just move past that. Gunther and Carmelo put on a fantastic match. They sold me a ticket with that count out. I thought it was about to get there, and even the ref held it up just a little bit. And you could, apply some referee's discretion there. You could, but I just thought that was a phenomenal spot. The power bomb into the fold. I was like, okay, that finally got Carmelo, and it didn't. Just a hell of a match. And sometimes you just need an absolute humper of a match with two verified Douglases And that's what these two did. Gunther is still that guy. Gunther is, he reminds me so much of like the 80s top like champion of what he exudes. I think that he just does a phenomenal job there. Phenomenal job. I'll tell you who else does a phenomenal job. MyBookie AG. You can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. Get a $50 bonus when you deposit $100 or a $100 bonus when you deposit $200. I have made quite a bit of money on MyBookie AG over the last 4 weeks now. I bet against the Cincinnati Bengals every single week. Bet for a running back to get a certain amount of yards as well, because the Bengals give up a lot of that. But I actually made some money off the Bengals this week by betting on Chase Brown to hit an over on some rushing yardage. Jamar Chase was out. Joe Burrow didn't get cleared in time. Joe Flacco was still a little wonky with the shoulder, and I made a little bit of money. And you can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie AG, and it's about to get way more interesting. Next month is the last UFC paid pay-per-view. They're all going to Paramount. So it's going to just get a whole group of people into the UFC betting. I bet on Valentina Shevchenko and Islam Makhachev a couple weeks ago. Made some money on that. You can bet with Bitcoin, get a $150 casino or 150% casino bonus up to $750. They got table games, live casinos, and slot games, and the best support in the business. They provide you the best experience from the best. We only want you to bet what you can, and please bet responsibly. MyBookie AG. I didn't have any lock picks for AEW this past week, but we did have on our AEW Scoops thread that Ricochet or Bobby Lashley were favored to win. Oh, man. This Dominik angle. Now, you're going to see people that pretend, you know what kind of people I'm talking about. You all wouldn't have survived a day in the Attitude Era people. You all just want to cancel people. Listen, if you look at me and my track record of forgiveness, if somebody is like, my bad, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm generally pretty forgiving of them. I don't really do the whole cancel somebody forever thing unless, they are an unapologetic racist or, one bigoted or just overall horrible in that sense. If you say my bad, usually you're good. But there's this groundswell of, he wouldn't have survived in the Attitude Era. I did survive in the Attitude Era. I watched the Attitude Era. I enjoyed some of it. And then I look back at a lot of it and I go, man, that sucked. I rewatched the Katie Vick storyline earlier this year. I found it hilarious since I didn't have to cover it every week. Don't think it was a good storyline, but did I laugh at a lot of it? Yeah, because I couldn't believe that it made it through somebody's brain, out of their mouth, pitched it, approved it, filmed it, scheduled it, edited it, produced it, and then aired it. And I wasn't like offended by this angle or anything like that. By the way, it was Dominik coming out and John Cena's music hits, and it's Sikoa from Micro Championship Wrestling. And sincerely, the highlight of the whole bit was that there was a little Stu, the cameraman, that followed him. That was good. That was very funny that they had a little Stu there as well. But I have seen this angle like a half a dozen times in WWE, right? Like, I've seen this so many times that it's crazy. Like, they've done this over and over and over again. They haven't in a long time. But it's the same thing. I've seen this angle going back to 1997. And that's okay to redo some old angles. It's just this one isn't good. I didn't find it entertaining. Blind rock. Okay, that was funny. So I did make a joke saying, "Oh, what's the difference when Ray came out for the save?" Popping myself was the funnier part. I mean, it would have been funny if the fake Cena got in his face and said, "Ray, why don't you pick on somebody your own size?" But I want to tell you this. I live a few miles from Manchester Music Hall, and Micro Championship Wrestling runs there, and they draw a goddamn house, brother. They draw really well here. Like they do good business there. And I want to say this, Psycho is a really good performer. I don't want me disliking this segment to get in the way of the fact that Psycho is a really, really good performer, because he is. He's very good. Then we got Rey Mysterio and JD McDonough. This is, Rey still got it, man. He's better now than he was in 2014. And that's wild, man. I got to get me some stem cells. I got to get that, man. Somebody hook me up. Somebody fly your dude to Colombia already. My knees need it. Jake Rell says, can't wait for Jeremy to tell us how much it ruled tomorrow. JD and Ray had a really good match. Ray did a lot of selling, and I think it's, him just working his way back in, but like he would still do like this, the infrared or code red or whatever the hell it was, and it's still smooth as hell, dude. And he was one of those guys that back in the day, he wasn't doing like the crazy stunts, but there's no way in 96, 97 when he came onto the scene in WCW that you thought he'd still be doing it in almost 2026, right? And I got a lot of people saying, oh, well, they're probably going to do that retirement match with him and Dom, right? He's signed multi-year. He's still got years on his WWE deal. And he doesn't look like he's slowing down right now. And he's almost certainly making 7 figures a year, buddy. You know what cool thing about Rey Mysterio? So when we do, we don't do them as much anymore, but when we would do community events with WWE, sometimes they'd bring in, athletes, celebrities, stuff like that. And we get to speak with them. And, it'd be like Dwight Howard or Keldon Johnson of the San Antonio Spurs, and people like that. And, the easy question to ask an athlete about wrestling is, who was your favorite wrestler? And it is constantly Rey Mysterio was their favorite wrestler. There were a whole lot of people that grew up on that like era of SmackDown, and you can tell. And what more can I say about JD McDonough, man? He has been such an important part of this WWE Raw show from an in-ring perspective for the last number of months. JD McDonough he is a Douglas, an absolute dog that does not quite get the credit for being a Douglas that he deserves. And he's a good sport about having a big head. He has truly embraced what it took to become a performer. And do really well. Rey Mysterio ends up winning this. Oh, man, here we go. Got to complain again. I love New Day. 2 of my favorite performers to watch. Incredibly charismatic. They are complaining to Adam Pearce backstage and wanting a title shot. And Grayson Waller's with them. And Adam Pearce says, well, AJ and Dragon Lee are fighting champions and they want to face you next week. And New Day are like, oh. Now, if you want to get technical, they beat Alpha Academy on main event. But when's the last time main event was ever referenced on WWE Raw. Acknowledged the existence of it, even given like a thing like that. If anybody can tell me the last time a clip of main event was shown on Raw, I'll give you a free month of Fightful Select. Give you a free 6 months of Fightful Select. But you can't because it's been years. And I'm the guy that still watches main event. So let's go back beyond that. Their last tag matches on Raw were them losing the title in June and then a top contender match in July. Okay. But for the sake of me not complaining, what I will do is simply remember that I watched them beat Alpha Academy on main event fairly recently. And I will say, you know what? I'm not the only person that watches main event. Adam Pearce watches main event. AJ Styles watches main event. Dragon Lee watches main event. And they happen to be watching main event like, gosh, was it last week or so? And they saw this win and said, we got to, by God, they beat Alpha Academy. They did it in under 8 minutes. We gotta give them a title shot. All right. I can get behind that. I can, if that's what you want to tell me, your boy will buy it. But they're not going to tell us that because that would require them acknowledging that this show exists. Okay. All right, man. Oh, man. Solo Sikoa versus Penta. Now, this one ain't WWE's fault, man. This one isn't anybody's fault. Ryan Cicchini says, do you think Phoenix was going to help Penta? I would like to hope so, because it's time to put that team back together. Now, I'm waiting for an update on Penta. Things seemed okay as he went through the curtain based on people that I talked to, but the match had to be stopped. They went to a commercial, and then they had to stop the match because Penta took a spill, didn't look great, and wisely and fortunately, it was called to a stop. The minor inconvenience of me not getting to see Penta in this tournament or this match against Solo Sikoa, negligible in importance in comparison to his health. Now, if for some reason Penta is good Thursday or Friday, you can say, hey guys, we're just going to run that back on Monday. Okay. We'll just run that back on Monday. Or maybe he's good for this weekend and they want to add it or something like that. But I am ready to see Phoenix join Raw and then also join Penta and help this tag team division. I want to see the Penta Bros again, or the Penta Bros, the Lucha Bros against War Machine, War Raiders. I want to see them against Alpha Academy. I want to see a real wrestling Alpha Academy, but I want to see them work these teams and bring some of the work rate teams, bring at least one more. Bring DIY over to Raw. I would love that. Bring them. And I would like to see how that shakes up the division. But it's not going to matter unless you just book it right. I remember when the War Raiders won those tag titles, and I was told by people in WWE, we're really going to put stuff into it. And I remember I replied, like it was like 4 months later. I clicked reply on that message, or I screenshotted it or something and sent it back to that person and said, you're a goddamn liar. You are a goddamn liar. Come on now. Just not true. Guys, get in those super chats, get in those humper chats. Not a super interesting episode of Raw. I understand. It's my good friend Sabrina is here. They should just rebrand Main Event and put it on YouTube. I wish they would. It would be an awesome, awesome idea that could expose some talent and get some eyeballs on things. I don't know what they possibly make overseas now, but programming note, I will not be on the post show Saturday. I will be at WrestleCade this Saturday, Friday and Saturday. Very excited about it. If you guys have never been to WrestleCade, it is a must attend every year for me. I don't care what's going on. They could run Survivor Series in Lexington or Cincinnati, and I would still go to WrestleCade. That's just the reality. I would do that. It is a just next level event. Sting, Jushin Thunder Liger, Okada, Trish Stratus, the Hardy Boys, MJF, all there. Like some really, really huge names. Hardy Boys wrestling. The Hardy Boys are next level celebrities in North Carolina. But if you are in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, an area which I adore, by the way, and you see me, please come up and say hi. I'll be doing interviews throughout the weekend, and I'm heading back Saturday night. I'll be on a plane while Survivor Series is happening. But I want to meet you guys if you're there. And Joel Pearl and Phil Lindsay will be on the Survivor Series post show. I will be feeding them some scoops, but I will not be without a review because I will have one probably Sunday or Monday on FightfulSelect.com. Anytime I miss a show, I try to make sure to do a bonus review there for our audience. So make sure you guys check that out. Got Mike Ferris saying Main Event is on Peacock on Saturday morning. Well, I'll tell you where all of WWE's content is. It's on Netflix. If you've got NordVPN.com/Fightful. You just go to NordVPN.com/Fightful. You subscribe at like $2.98 a month for this basic tier. You download the app, you change your virtual location, and you've got Raw, SmackDown, NXT, PLEs all on Netflix. They got a Black Friday exclusive deal, big savings plus 4 months extra, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. They've been at it for over 10 years. They've won a bunch of awards. One account gets you coverage over 10 devices: phone, desktop, laptop, PC, router, smart TV. All that on any operating system. And it's not just that. You can save on pay-per-views. You can browse safely with a VPN, which is one of the fastest on the planet. You can go tiers up and get a password manager, a private cloud, and they've got a data breach scanner as well, the Threat Protection Pro. They've got all kinds of testimonials over on NordVPN.com/Fightful. And again, 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can decide if you like it or not. But they also have the easiest layout to choose your plan. I said $2.98 a month. It's $2.88 a month now to just get the VPN that allows you to watch everything on Netflix. They have the Plus, Complete, and Prime options. And the most expensive one is $6.64 a month. That comes with a VPN, scam call protection, anti-malware, browsing protection, ad blocker, tracker blocker, password manager, breach scanner, a terabyte of cloud storage, Nord Protect, and identity protection. My God. You get caller ID on that damn thing. You've got cyber extortion insurance there, identity theft insurance. They take care of me at Nord. I love them. I'm very proud to be continuing to do business with them well into 2026, as they will present the Fightful Awards again in 2026. Very excited about that. If you guys don't mind, leave a thumbs up on this video. This is a rather short episode, rather short review. So I want to see what you guys want to talk about. Roman Reigns kicked off the show. You've got Cody Rhodes interrupting him. And Cody says, "Why are you here?" And Roman's like, "Well, I'm here for the Usos. That's why." Said some said some hurtful things. I did actually want to see him before Christmas, as it turns out. Cody goes, "All right, welcome to my team." And CM Punk runs down and is like, whoa. Your team? I did not feel like these three had the best chemistry. And it is three guys who kind of jockey for each other's spot, but I think that actually played into the last line really well. Roman Reigns is like, by the way, I might have to take that title from you. And Cody and Punk are like, is he talking to you? Talking to you. And Reigns is just like, figure it out yourself. I loved that. That was a fantastic part of that. Because if Reigns is around, he's got to be in the conversation. He is one of the top stars in wrestling history. And I like that they teased that. But all due respect, I had mentioned I don't really give a damn to see Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar again. I don't want to see Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes again either. I would love to see Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, or Roman Reigns and CM Punk, Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker. I'd like to see those. Roman Reigns and Obafemi. Sure. Roman Reigns and Gunther. Give me that. Don't want to see Roman and Cody again. I want to see them do new things. Although Cody did once tell me that if he wrestles somebody 5 times, he can just steal their moves. So, I mean, listen, Cody's very close to being able to steal the spear and the Superman punch. He's very close. They had a backstage segment as well. The Usos got up and got obnoxious. It's their team, actually, they say. And they're talking about the advantage match later on. Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul defeated the Usos. You saw one of the worst backbreakers that I've ever seen in my life during this match on Logan Paul. But it was one of those that devolves. I don't know why when Cody hit Drew, it wasn't a DQ. Right? I don't know why. Don't know what happened there. But like we knew Brock was there in the building. So we knew whatever was happening here was just leading to Brock Lesnar coming out. And we knew that Roman Reigns was going to be face-to-face with Brock Lesnar. That was advertised. So we knew Roman Reigns was going to have to come out as well, right? And Logan Paul and Drew get the win. Roman Reigns comes out after everybody else comes out, and they're all brawling, or they're all about to brawl. And then it happens. Then it happens. Just Another Vic says, seeing Brock fall flat on his ass almost makes the whole damn mess worth it. He was a good sport about it. You got to give him credit for that. He nervously put his hat on Braun Breaker. You think they've been fishing or hunting yet? But Brock did his little hop around, did the left foot stomp, and I don't know if his shit kickers were slick or if the stage was slick, but he fell. I got it to the left of me. He fell while the pyro hit and rolled backwards and giggled about it. Paul Heyman just got like look down at him like that. God. He's just got to look back. What can he do? What can Paul Heyman do? Is it going to help Brock up? Could you imagine if that's where we are? If this was Hogan like 97, Bischoff would have to help him up probably. If it wasn't planned, he ain't taking that bump. And Brock ran down to the ring and they brawled to end the show. I keep watching it. God, you can see the reflection of it. Woo. That was WWE Raw. That was I'm not going to say that was the highlight of Raw. I'm not going to, because Dave Cost, he says that show was rough. Mello Gunther was excellent. Mello met the moment, and in the ring story, the in-ring story with Gunther masterclass of getting his opponent over. Becky Trump is funny for sure. That's all I got. Becky is hilarious. Doing the Trump stuff right in front of people like Triple H who are hanging out with Trump, I find that very humorous. I find it hilarious that she is like, let me just take the most ridiculous ass shit that is happening right now, the dumbest stuff that people are saying, and make it an angle. Hold on. Hold on. Sean, any comments on what Brett said in that recent interview? On what Brett said? What didn't Brett say? What didn't Brett say? Brett buried everybody except for Rey Mysterio. It was the Jim Brewer in Half Baked. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Yep. There we go. Brock with a spinner Rooney 2K taunt. I know Jay must have been crying in the ring. Shooting star who? This is the new Brock botch. I mean, this one didn't put him in physical harm. That was horrifying. The way that his botch was at WrestleMania 19. Horrifying. Didn't get any joy out of that one. Trunlin says C2 Field is great. Wish Brody King and Bandito were in there. Only 2 Raws I have enjoyed this year were the last 2 weeks. Have a good Thanksgiving, SRS. I hope to. I'm heading back to the hometown, doing a lot of traveling. Let's see. Thursday, head back to the hometown, old Fleming County, Kentucky. Then drive back. Then do the Bengals show on Common Bengals W. If you all are interested in that, check out Common Bengals W on YouTube and Twitter. Saturday morning, I fly to Charlotte. Then I drive to Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Saturday night, I drive from Winston-Salem to Charlotte, and I fly back to Lexington. And then on Sunday, I think I'm heading back to Mason County, Kentucky for a family gathering. Hope that I see you guys. Hope I see you. Listen to this. Waiting for MJF's response. Dax telling MJF to watch what he said next carefully may crack me up. So, I don't like to promote things before they happen, but I am tentatively slated to interview MJF this weekend. We'll see if it happens. Busy man at these signings. My rule of thumb is I will not, don't want to interrupt anybody's business there, but tentatively slated. Going to talk to a lot of people. Always do my interview with Emily J, who is, rising up the indie ranks. Got Eric Ademia, supposed to interview her. Shaza, Big Trouble Ben Bishop. I'll probably talk to Cardona. Hopefully, I almost always do. So hopefully I can speak with him. Got a lot of people that I'm scheduled to interview this weekend. So very excited about that. Dropped an interview with Wheeler Yuta last week. Check that out. Got Ash by Elegance this week. It's exciting. Sean, I pitched this match on IGW. Joey Janela, Megan Bain versus Gail Kim, SRS, tag team death match at Joey Janela Spring Break. What do you think? I don't want to do a death match, first off. Okay, first off, legitimately, I'm not cleared. I'm trying to see if I need shoulder surgery. Breaking news there. I've been dealing with a shoulder injury since July. I was able to do the little stunner spot with Shotzi, but I'm not cleared to wrestle right now, or else I would have done a couple of matches earlier this year. I had talked about doing the Smitty, and I had talked about doing something with Mystery Wrestling, and I couldn't. Not physically there. Gail says she's not wrestling again. Gail said she didn't want to do anything physical. I did talk to Gail about her promo, and I think y'all know Gail's a buddy of mine, and I do find it very entertaining that she worked a lot of people with the GCW and the deathmatch thing. That was funny to me. I don't know why she got to bring up me, call me an idiot at GCW, but listen, if Gail Kim asked me to do that match, I'd probably be like, all right, well, I guess I got to fall into some barbed wire or some stuff, but I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to do a death match. I'd do a regular tag team match for sure, but I'm not booked. I'm out there on my trampoline with my little weights. I can't even do the weights right now. My shoulder's so messed up. But guys, a reminder, this weekend, Fightful Awards voting starts at FightfulSelect.com. I know a lot of you are like, Sean, why on earth would I pay for wrestling news? Well, we got the best goddamn wrestling news in the game, the most accurate, the most by volume. And not just that, a Q&A article every day, Q&A podcast from me every week, Q&A podcast from WrestleVotes every week, WrestleVotes radio every week, Sour Graps every week, Discord access every day. You might say, Sean, why on earth do you, Grapsody, and WrestleVotes need a Q&A and a Q&A article every day? Because I understand that when you subscribe to a paywall wrestling service or something like that, you're sort of beholden to the people that are reporting the news, right? So very, very specifically, I want as much of what our paying subscribers want answered. So if there's a bunch of stuff that our subscribers want to know, I want to make sure that they get every opportunity to have as much as they possibly can answered, because that's who we serve. I often tell people in any wrestling company, you don't owe me information. I owe our audience information. So I hope you will give Fightful Select a try. You can right now get it and lock in a year-long price, which listen, Jimmy's talked about increasing it again. Hope he doesn't, but you can lock that year-long price in right now. I will be back Wednesday afternoon with Kimmy. We're talking WrestleCade. Kimmy is going to be one of the more powerful managers, reps, agents, especially in the convention industry over the next couple decades. Somebody I'm proud to call a friend. We're going to talk a lot about that and some current wrestling stuff. And then Wednesday night, we've got AEW's post show. Guys, I want to thank you all so much. Until next time, we're out.